Good evening, everyone. Am I audible? Let me know. If I'm audible, please let me know. All those who are there in the chat box, all those who are there in the session, kindly let me know if I'm audible. Yes, people, am I audible? All those viewers who can hear me, let me know if you can hear me. Am I audible? I'm asking this so that if there is any issue, I can fix it with the help of technical team, and if you let me know, I would be able to fix it as soon as possible. Am I audible, people? Let me know. If you do not respond, how will I come to know, dear people? Let me know by your response if I am audible. Is the task clearly visible? Right? Good evening, everyone. Very good evening, all of you. Yes, Divya, I am audible, right? Okay, great. So, we will straight away go to the task. So, here we are today to discuss a task, a very good task, 11-year-old patient's condition. That is what we are going to do, right? Let's see how do we tackle this task. So, all of you can see my screen. All of you can see my screen. So let's read the writing task first. So the writing task says something like this. Using the information given in the case note, write a letter of referral to Dr. B. Townsend. So we are going to write a referral letter. They made it very clear that it's a referral letter. Okay. In the beginning itself, they made it very clear that it's a referral letter. It's a referral letter to Dr. B. Townsend in the emergency department at the Newtown Children's Hospital. So we are going to write a letter to Dr. B. Townsend. Huh. We are writing a referral letter to Dr. B. Townsend in the emergency department in Newtown's Children's Hospital. So why are we going to refer this patient? Let's read and figure out. Emma Johnson is 11-year-old patient in your general practice. On 30/11/2019 history, she had nocturnal cough which lasted for 2 weeks associated with runny nose and mild fever. Okay, so Emma Johnson is the patient we are talking about, and Emma Johnson is 11-year-old patient. And on 30/11/2009, she had nocturnal cough for last 2 weeks associated with runny nose and mild fever. Previously, her condition was well. She has family history of asthma, mother and older sister who is age 15 years, past history is nil, and medication nil, allergies none known. So we did not get anything relevant or anything specific to talk much in deeper. All what we understood is about Emma Johnson's condition, that she has nocturnal cough for last 2 weeks associated with runny nose. Let's move on to the next slide and discover more. So on examination, she was slightly flushed. Her temperature was noted as 37.8 degrees Celsius. Her red pharynx and ear were normal. Chest, no obvious wheeze, no focal signs. Her peak expiratory flow rate, PEFR, was noted as 250 liter per minute and expected is 350 liter per minute. On assessment, she had viral upper respiratory infection and possible associated asthma. So plan was to start on paracetamol and fluids for infection and review if the condition worsens. Then on 21/12/2009, she presented for the examination. She returns with persistent nocturnal cough, runny nose, and fever, which is now completely resolved. Cough noted on exercise. On chest auscultation, faint basal wheeze. PEFR was noted as 230 liter per minute. Ears, nose, and throat normal. On assessment, probable asthma. Plan trial inhale salbutamol Ventolin puffer 2 puffs 3 times daily, and she was asked to keep the record of her morning and evening PEFR readings and review after 3 weeks. On 11/1/2010, when she presented, her review symptoms slightly improved. Exercise tolerance this time was better. Less nocturnal disturbance, and on chest auscultation, no wheeze heard. And this time her PEFR reading was noted as 280 liter per minute. So see, from the previous visit, if you compare to this visit, now her PEFR reading has been increased from 230 to 280 liter per minute. On assessment, improved but asthma still slightly unstable. Plan to start on inhaled corticosteroid B-Ghud 200 2 puffs 3 times daily, to continue Ventolin as required, to continue PEFR monitoring and review in 4 weeks. Then what happened? Let's read. On 8/2/2010, on examination, her condition much improved. Minimal nocturnal and exercise induced symptoms. Chest auscultation clear, and now her PEFR reading was noted as 340 liter per minute. Assessment, well controlled asthma. So now her condition is getting stable. So plan was to maintain the current therapy and review in 2 months. And so when she presented on 10/4/2010, after 2 months on examination, worsening shortness of breath and wheezing over the last 48 hours with runny nose, fever, loss of appetite, red throat, ears normal, obvious difficulty in breathing with use of accessory muscles. On chest auscultation, widespread wheeze, no focal signs, and PFR straight away dropped from 340 liter per minute to 140 liter per minute. On assessment, she has severe asthma triggered by viral upper respiratory infection. So plan was to provide her Ventolin nebulizer statin, and that gave her minimal relief. That means in spite trying Ventolin nebulizer statin, it gave her minimal relief. So it's an urgent assessment at hospital. So now she requires urgent assessment, people. So that is why, so let's come to the slide number 2. So that is why, as per the information, we are going to write a letter of referral to Dr. B. Townsend in the emergency department at the Newtowns Children's Hospital. So people, the things we should know and we should understand is, can we conclude that if you are writing a referral letter to the emergency department, okay, and urgent assessment or urgent management is not mentioned in the case note at all, it's simply given write a referral letter to the emergency department, will you conclude that it's an urgent case note just by the term emergency department? Can you conclude that it is an urgent case? Can you conclude that the patient requires urgent assessment and management just by the term emergency department? Can we conclude so? Just by the term emergency department, can we conclude that the patient requires urgent assessment and management? Kindly respond in the chat box, people. How would I know that you are there? 25 viewers, I can see 25 participants are there in the class. Please respond. My question is, right, exactly. My question is, just by the term emergency department, can you conclude it's an emergency case? No. We cannot conclude a case note to be an urgent case unless the task clearly says that the patient requires urgent assessment and management. Just by the term, just by a referral letter to the emergency department, you cannot conclude the case note to be an emergency case, right? So though we started that write a referral letter to the emergency department, there was no urgency at all. But gradually, when you read from the first visit up till the last visit, we realized that the patient's condition, from probable condition, it went up to stable condition, and from the stable condition, and now she has worsening asthma, which means her condition gradually deteriorated, right? And by the end of the task, we concluded that the patient requires urgent assessment and management. In spite, she was provided Ventolin nebulizer statin, but that did not give her minimal relief, and due to which the need of urgency has been raised, and so this case note will be considered an emergency case note. That is, the patient requires urgent assessment and management, not because of the term which is given in the writing task, but because the point which is given in the end of the task, that the patient requires urgent assessment and management. People, do you understand me? Have you understood? Have you understood how to determine whether a case note, whether the patient requires urgent assessment or not? Is it clear up till there? Please respond. Yes. Okay. So when you approach a case note which is on emergency basis, that is, the patient requires urgent assessment and management, you are supposed to start the organization from the visit where the need of urgency has been raised, dear people. Okay. Whenever you approach a case note where the patient requires urgent assessment and management, or the patient requires when the patient requires immediate evaluation, you start your organization from the visit where the need of urgency has been raised. The need of urgency in this case note has been raised on today's visit, that is the last visit, right? So you will start your organization from the visit where the need of urgency has been raised. Clear, everyone? Is it clear to each one of you? With the basic background of her present condition, with the basic background of her basic facts, right? That she has nocturnal cough for last 2 weeks, which is associated with runny nose and mild fever. You can give a brief introduction about the patient, and then you can straight away jump to today's visit. Or in this case note, you can straight away go to today's visit because you are talking about the present condition only. If today's visit had no connection at all with the basic background, you do not even have to start with the basic background. And if this case note was not an urgent case, okay, if the last statement, that is urgent assessment at hospital, if this statement was not given in the task, can you tell me what would have been the organization then? Will the organization be the same if the case note didn't say the word urgent assessment? Will the organization be same if the same case note did not utter about the word urgent assessment? No. If this same case note did not utter about the word urgent assessment, you would have started exactly, Sindhu, right? You would have started from the first background, that is from the initial background, followed by the subsequent visit, followed by the first visit, second visit, third visit, and so on. Here, because of this word urgent assessment, you will start with today's visit. That is, the last visit would be the first body paragraph, and second body paragraph you will talk about the initial visits, that is the first visit. So what is the difference? If the word urgency is there, you will start from the visit where the need of urgency has been raised. If the word urgent assessment or immediate evaluation is not given, you will start from the basic, that is from the initial history provided the present condition is absolutely connected with the initial visits. Is it clear, everyone? Have you understood? Is it clear to each one of you? Any confusion, everyone? Is it clear to each one of you? Yes. So now let's start with our letter then, since we know that what all things we need to include and how are we supposed to start. So yeah. Yeah. So let's start with the date, address, salutation and RE. Date of the letter, we are not provided today's date, nor we are provided discharge date. The only visit we have in front of us is today's. That is the last visit. So either your case note should provide you today's date or discharge date or the last visit. So here we will consider last visit as the date of the letter. That is 10/04/2010. People, you can write the date in two ways. Either write in slash format or write in word format. Either ways are correct. All you have to be careful about is whichever format you use, you make sure that you follow it throughout the letter. So 10/04/2010 is the date of the letter, after which you would leave a line. After leaving a line, you will write the name of the reader. Here the name of the reader is correctly provided. That is Dr. B. Townsend. Dr. B. Townsend, second line emergency department, third line Newtown Children's Hospital. Leave a line, dear Dr. Townsend, comma. Many students have this apprehension that should we put comma, is it mandatory? People, it is not mandatory. The thing that you need to be careful about is if you put comma after the salutation, you're obliged to put comma after your signing off also. If you do not put comma here, you do not have to put comma in your signing off too. Okay, since I have put comma here, I will certainly make sure that I do put comma after my signing off. Okay, so dear Dr. Townsend, comma, leave a line, RE, full colon, Emma Johnson, comma, 11 years old. Right, date, address, salutation and RE is clear to each one of you. Date, address, salutation and RE is clear to each one of you. Let me know. Date, address, salutation and RE, is there any confusion? Right? Clear? No confusion? All right. See, suppose, yeah. So, if the name of the reader is not provided, people, the default set designation is dear sir slash madam. Okay. If the name of the reader is not provided, the default set designation is dear sir slash madam. You do not have to worry. When the name of the reader is provided, there is where you have to be careful about, because you have to address the reader with the second name. Okay, chalo. So let's start reading with our introduction. So I am writing to refer. You all know the first line of your introduction is either written in present continuous active voice or it is written in present continuous passive voice. So I have started with I am writing. So the two things that you need to be careful about is, if you start with present continuous, that is if you start with I am writing, do not use the word this letter. Because OET writing, it is understood that what you're writing is a letter. You do not have to emphasize it. You do not have to give extra importance to the word this letter, because it is pretty clear understood that what you're writing is a letter. So I am writing to refer, or this letter is being written to refer. See, when you start with passive voice, you do not have to emphasize on the word by me. See, when you start with I am writing, do not give importance to the word letter. If you start with passive voice, do not give importance to yourself. So the two correct ways, the two correct starters are I am writing to refer, or this letter is being written to refer. The two wrong answers are I am writing this letter to refer. Wrong. This letter is being written by me to refer. Wrong. See, it's not about being right or wrong. It's about unwanted, right? It is not required. Okay. So I am writing to refer. We clearly understood that it's a referral letter because they clearly gave it in the task. So I am writing to refer Emma Johnson. We have not provided any title to Emma Johnson because we know that we provide title to the patient whose age is above 16. Patients whose age is less than 16, does not need any title, or the task should give a certain title to the patient by the task itself. The task should address the patient with some title, so we can copy paste. So until and unless the task does not provide you any title, we do not have to provide any title to the patient. So I am writing to refer Emma Johnson, who requires people who is a relative pronoun. Okay, who is a relative pronoun, and the function of who, the function of relative pronoun, is to relate the subject with the verb. Here Emma Johnson is singular, so the verb would be singular, and when the verb is singular you add s to the verb. See, this is subject verb agreement. When subject is singular, verb is singular, we add s to the verb. When subject is plural, verb is plural, we do not add s to the verb. So here Emma Johnson is singular, so you will add s to the verb. So I am writing to refer Emma Johnson, who requires urgent assessment and management owing to severe asthma triggered by viral upper respiratory infection. So see, this is the last assessment which I have copy pasted, right? So this letter is being written to refer Emma Johnson, who requires urgent assessment or who requires immediate evaluation, whatever. Either go for urgent assessment or go for immediate evaluation. Either ways would do. Okay, urgent assessment and management owing to severe asthma triggered by viral upper respiratory infection. As we discussed that we are straight away going to start with today, because the need of urgency has been raised on today's visit. So we'll straight away start with today. People never say on today, on yesterday. No, we never use preposition with days. We use preposition with dates, right? We use on 24/12/2010. You do not have to use any preposition with days. On today, wrong. On yesterday, wrong. Simply today. Today, comma, Emma presented, right? We will not say Emma was presented. We will say Emma presented because the patient presented herself. Emma presented with worsening shortness of breath, comma, runny nose, comma, fever, comma, loss of appetite, and wheezing over the last 48 hours. So this is the complaint, right? She presented with certain complaints. We copy pasted. On examination, we also use preposition on in front of examination, in front of assessment, in front of specific dates. We always use preposition on. On examination, comma, use of accessory muscles for breathing and widespread wheeze were noted. Were noted. Why were? Were because subject is plural. Use of accessory muscles for breathing and widespread wheeze. Subject plural. Were plus V3 is simple past passive voice. Why passive voice? Because she cannot note this for herself. Right? She cannot note this for herself. It has to be noted down by somebody else for the patient. So anything which is done by somebody else, letter is written by me, somebody else. Admission is done by somebody else. She was admitted on. So that means she was admitted by somebody else. She is being discharged. That means discharge is provided by somebody else. Here, use of accessory muscles for breathing and widespread wheeze were noted because they were noted by somebody else in the past. That is before the date of the letter. And were is used because subject is plural. Okay. Her PEFR was recorded because again it was recorded by somebody else. Her PFR was recorded as 140 liter per minute and nebulization with Ventolin showed minimal relief. Yes, people, introduction and first body paragraph is clear to everyone. Introduction and first body paragraph is clear to everyone. How we started with the introduction and how we straight away landed to today's visit and spoke all the complaints related to Emma on today's visit with her PEFR. Yeah, so one thing that I have not done is PEFR. I have not expanded. You wish to expand, you can expand, right? Her peak expiratory rate, and then in bracket you can write PEFR, so that, because see, you have to use the term PEFR in your latter part of the letter. So you wish to expand, you expand it and then write the abbreviation in the bracket so that you can use that abbreviation in the latter part of the letter. Yes, people, clear up till here? Clear up till here, people? Are you there with me? Clear up till there, everyone? अरे somebody respond, कोई तो respond करो. Clear, not clear, understood, not understood. So far okay. right? Introduction and first body paragraph is clear? Cleared. Okay. Chalo, great. So let's move on to the second body paragraph. So I started with today. So will you tell me I should start my second body paragraph from which visit? The just previous visit or the initial visit? From which visit am I supposed to start my second body paragraph? Come on. Yes, people. From which visit am I supposed to start my second body paragraph? Exactly. Initial visit. I'm supposed to start from my initial visit, the very first visit. Exactly, people. The very first visit. So let's start with our initial visits. Let's start with our initial visits. Yes. Okay. So let's start with our initial visits with the word initially, or you can straight away write the date as well. Both would do. Okay. Both would do. Either you start with the word initially, or you write the date, or you write like initially Emma presented on 30 because initially means which is initial, right? Initial can be any date. So if you want to specify the date with it, you can do that too, as I have done. Okay. So initially, comma, Emma presented on in front of specific dates. We always use preposition on. You already know this. Initially, Emma presented on 30/11/2009 with nocturnal cough for 2 weeks. Now, see, many students have apprehension regarding numerical 2. Should we write numerical 2? Should we write TWO? Should we write 02? People copy paste. The way it is given in the task, even if you copy paste, it's absolutely fine. Okay. And you are very particular. No, we have learned to put 02. Go ahead, no problem. Copy pasting has no problem at all. Okay. So initially, comma, Emma presented on 30/11/2009 with nocturnal cough for 2 weeks associated with runny nose. On her next visit, comma, see, you want to specify the date, you can. I have straight away gone to on her next visit, which is absolutely correct too. See, these are just alternatives. Okay. On her next visit, she reported. Who reported? The patient herself reported. Because she herself reported, we do not have to convert it to passive voice, people. Okay. So on her next visit, comma, she reported persistent nocturnal and exercise induced cough. Her PEFR dropped from 250 to 230 liter per minute. So that means, see, I just, what did I do? Instead of writing the PEFR value of the initial visit and then again writing the PEFR value of the next visit, what did I do? I clubbed them up. I merged them up. Okay, and by merging, I said her PEFR dropped from 250 to 230 liter per minute by giving the reader a very clear picture that 250 was the initial PEFR reading, which has dropped to 230 liter per minute in her next visit. Okay, on chest auscultation, comma, she had faint basal V's, full stop. Subsequently is a supporting connector. Subsequently is a supporting connector. Subsequently, she was commenced on. After commence, we always use on. When you start a drug, we say she was commenced on. Never say she was commenced with. No, she was commenced on. Okay. She was commenced on. Why it is written in passive voice? Because Emma cannot start the drug for herself. It has to be started by somebody else. Okay. So subsequently, comma, she was commenced on salbutamol inhaler, comma, 2 puffs 3 times daily, comma, and she was advised to keep record of PFR reading. So see, there are two things which we have started. One is the starting of the drug salbutamol inhaler, 2 puffs 3 times daily. And next is an advice. Okay. One is the salbutamol inhaler, 2 puffs 3 times daily. And next is not any kind of drug or medication. Next is an advice to keep the record of her PFR reading. So it is two different purposes. So I have split my two statement with the help of comma and. Okay, see, if after and I was again talking about any medication, I wouldn't have kept this comma. Because after and I'm talking about an advice, right, with different subject, I mean the same subject, same state, same patient, but a different kind of start. That means, see, I have provided two different purposes. One is for the starting of the medication and one is about the advice to keep the record, right? So that is why I have put comma. All those students, who want to apply this rule, right? In your exam, if you are unable to apply this rule, you get confused. Do not apply this rule. We have another alternative. What is that? You put a full stop and start the statement fresh. What I meant is, on chest auscultation, comma, she had feigned basal B's, full stop. Subsequently, comma, she was convinced on salbutamol inhaler, comma, 2 puffs 3 times daily, full stop. In addition, comma, she was advised to keep record of PEFR readings. So if you are not comfortable enough to use the combination of comma and together, split the statement, people. Split the statement. Okay. So in my second body paragraph, actually I have clubbed 2 visits. Now in my third body paragraph, during the subsequent visits, that means I'm talking about more than one visit. During the subsequent visits, comma, Emma's asthma improved with corticosteroid inhaler and her PFR value increased from 280 liter per minute to 340 liter per minute. Again, instead of writing the values again and again, this time her PFR reading was noted as 280 liter per minute. On the subsequent visit, her PFR reading was noted as 340 liter per minute. So instead of repeating the term again and again I clubbed the 2 visits, I mean the 2 PFR reading values, and used the word called increase, because this time it increased. So and her PFR value increased from 280 liter per minute to 340 liter per minute. Adugunda isliye semicolon therefore comma. See, subsequently is also supporting connector and therefore is also a supporting connector. Semicolon therefore comma, she was advised. Again I have told you, anything which is started by somebody else for the patient is always written in passive voice. So she was advised to continue the current therapy. She was asked to review after 2 months. Again, she was asked to review after 2 months by somebody else. After that, since you must have felt, okay, it's a 3 body paragraph letter, so we need to cut short the recommendation paragraph. Some students are very particular, for them I told you, okay? So if you feel that, okay, why did I start with it would be appreciated. See, there are various starters you can start your recommendation paragraph as. There are various starters available. In view of the above, 5 words. Given the above, 3 words. In light of the above, 5 words. Or straight away start from it would be appreciated. Okay, if you think that the word count might be compromised, so you can straight away start with it would be appreciated. So it would be appreciated if you could provide immediate evaluation to Emma. Full stop. Please note, okay, please note is an important note that the reader must know, and the reader might have direct involvement. We use please note, right? So please note is something the word itself says. See, it's a reminder, right? It's a sharp reminder. The reader must know. So please note she has a positive family history of asthma. Either say please note she has a positive family history of asthma, or say please note she is significant for asthma. Same way, there are various types of conclusion that you are taught in the orientation class of B-Ghud. They are, if you have any queries, comma, please do not hesitate to contact me, or please contact me for further queries. So whichever conclusion you're comfortable with, please use that conclusion. But do not mix the type of sentences that you have learned. So if you have any queries, comma, please do not hesitate to contact me, full stop, leave a line. Yours sincerely, you can see on my screen the reason of using yours sincerely. Sincerely is used when the name of the reader is provided by the task. When the task provides you the name of the reader, you will use yours sincerely. Here we have the name of the reader, Dr. B. Townsend, right? If the task does not provide you the name of the reader, there you're supposed to use yours faithfully, right? When the task provides you the name of the reader, you say yours sincerely. When the task does not provide you the name of the reader, you write yours faithfully. I have put comma after my signing off because I have put comma after my salutation too. I have left a line after yours sincerely because the name of the registered nurse is not provided in the task. If the name of the registered nurse was provided, I wouldn't have left the line. I would write the name, and straight after writing the name, I would write registered nurse. Clear, everyone? Is it clear, everyone? Have you all understood? Task is clear, explanation is clear to each one of you. How do we start an urgent case note? And why did we go up to 3 body paragraphs? How did we blend the statement, or how did we merge the PEFR readings? How are we supposed to merge them? What is the term used when you club more than one visit? See, these are the things which I wanted to discuss regarding this case note. Clear, everyone? Is it clear? The letter is not displayed. You cannot see my screen. Is my screen not visible, people? And it's a recorded session, people. Okay, it's a recorded session. Once the once the session is over, you can watch this session as many times you want, right? For any kind of clarity, you can increase the, you can modulate the speed as per your convenience. The last paragraph is visible to you, I guess. So all those people who are new to the channel, kindly subscribe the channel and press the bell icon for the notification so that you do not miss any kind of these sessions, right? I do discuss task, and meanwhile I do discuss some grammar questions too, which is helpful for your OET writing, which might be an aid for a OET writing. So all those students there are many students who are unaware about the session, right? So all those students who are unaware about it, you can subscribe the channel and press the bell icon for the notification so that you do not miss any class. Right, people? Any confusions regarding this task? Any confusion that is bothering you regarding this task? So I would recommend you to practice this letter once you have the task with you, and write the letter in your own way and kindly evaluate, right? See, we do not expect you to write in the same format, in the same mannerism, word to word same. It is not practically possible, people. Lakhs of people attend the exam. They cannot have the same kind of words, right? But yes, the organization matters. The way you convey to the reader does matter. So what you convey does matter. The way you convey does matter. But exact copying of words, it's not practically possible, people. Right? So be careful about the language you use. Be careful about the grammar. See, grammar has a major role in letter writing. But the topmost priority in letter writing is how you read the task, how you analyze it. And then comes the role of grammar. If you are not having a good reading ability, you won't be able to analyze the task. That what does it command? Is it a referral letter? Is it a transfer letter? Is it a known case or is it an unknown case? Is the patient require urgent assessment or not? Is the past medical background connected with the present condition? Is the past medical background having no connection with present condition? What is the requirement of the patient? So this ability need to be built up by you by practicing letters. The more you practice, the more you get command. Once you get the knack of reading ability, analyzing the thing, then comes the role of grammar, because grammar helps you to write the statements effectively, right? You know what tense to apply, you know which voice to apply, you know which connector to apply, you know which preposition to apply. So there comes the role of grammar. So reading, analyzing, grammar, and practicing, these four topics are so much connected to each other. You cannot skip any of these. If you believe that yes, okay, I'm just attending Zoom sessions or I'm attending some sessions from YouTube, it might help you. It might help you, depends upon your skill. Some students need letter practicing, but getting B in writing, you have to practice letter on daily basis. All right, people. So that is all for today. I hope the session was beneficial to you. So we'll catch up next Wednesday with another session. All those students who have not subscribed the channel, please do subscribe the channel and press the bell icon so that you do not miss any kind of these topics. Next time, I'll try to bring up some grammar questions. We'll work on some grammar quiz and we'll justify them. So now we'll catch up at 9 p.m. for the Zoom session, writing Zoom session. We'll catch up at 9 p.m. Thank you, people. So that is all for today. Thank you. Good night. Bye-bye. Thank you.